And not surprisingly, with a guy like JR behind the bench, maybe we shouldn't be surprised. A big part of that is Thomas Harley. He joins us here this morning. Good morning, Thomas.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Well, let me just read you something from the Hockey Writers. You tell me if you agree or disagree. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Harley's composed game and confidence with the puck has earned him valuable ice time with a veteran-laden Mississauga roster. Further, Harley's exceptional play earned him a place in the 2018 Under-17 World Hockey Championships as a member of Team Canada Black, and although he has an additional OHL campaign remaining prior to his potential selection by an NHL franchise next June, the time has come to profile one of next season's most promising young defensemen. What do you think of that?
I think that's pretty cool, honestly.
It's awesome. And guess what, Thomas? They're not wrong. This is something that I imagine. You within the dressing room, what you talk about, the potential. Sometimes it can be a little confusing if you look at new faces coming in and familiar ones going out. But that has been sort of what you've had so far with the Steelheads, but it hasn't slowed you down a bit. Why do you think that is?
JR plays a great system. It keeps it simple. It's just get the puck over to the forwards, let them do their job, fire point shots in if you can, and just get up in the rush, create some offense. So everyone plays the same, play hard, play a complete game. It's pretty easy to put up points.
Thomas, you know what? Your development this year has been tremendous. We've talked about it with JR a little bit earlier on in our shows. He joins us every single Wednesday morning. What's been the difference between last year and this year, in your opinion, and just your experience throughout the league, and what's proving it for you?
Just the confidence I play with. Last year it was just kind of get the puck, move up the forwards, and that was my job. Didn't need to do any more than that. But this year, with Hager gone from the back end, Mover gone, most of our older guys gone, somebody need to step up and fill that big role. So at the start of the year, I was the guy, and I just kind of stepped into it, and, it worked out okay for me.
Yeah, it certainly did. Can you tell us about your experience during the prospects game with Team Cherry and Team Orr? You went to Red Deer earlier on this season. Actually, I think that was just last month, so it wasn't too far away. What did you experience there, and what did you like about that?
It was just a really fun experience, get to hang out with some of the top players in the country, meet them all, just kind of get to know them. The combine testing, they say it's not a competition, but you're always looking at the board, trying to see where you fit in with all the other guys. And then the game itself was fun to play in. Lots of skilled players. They just kind of find you in the open space. So it was real fun.
No, exactly.
When people look at frames, and very often when you do become property of an NHL team, there's always these kinds of comparisons that they make to other kinds of players. Sometimes it's fair, sometimes it's not. So if you're, what are you weighing in now? Are you closer to 190 now? How much are you coming in at?
Yeah, I like to say I'm 190, but during the season it might go down a little bit just after a weekend or something. So usually I sit around 185. Yeah,
so with a 6'3" frame, you're still a pretty young guy. When it comes to issues like, and people just think you need to be bigger, I always say that that's not necessarily true. As you get older, you're going to put on, but a frame is someone's frame. Sometimes you just don't. Just adding weight doesn't necessarily help. Is it something in terms of you? If you are going to get a little bit bigger, do you have the kind of frame you feel like you can put on some weight? Because it's not easy for everybody.
Yeah, for sure. I'm still pretty skinny right now. I eat a ton, though. It's just tough to put on weight in the season, right? You're always doing something. So I did this food diary thing for an online class. I said I ate like 5,000 calories a day, and I'm still not gaining weight. So, it's just all the activity. But in the summer, I put in a lot of weight, so all good.
You talked about combine training and testing. You're going to go through another one coming up after this OHL season, and of course, the season's still far from over, and we're hoping for a long playoff run with the Steelheads. But in the off season, is that something you kind of you gear your training towards, that type of testing, to make sure you test at the highest possible level?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's training's still about getting more explosive and getting stronger on the ice, but at the same time, you want to do well. So maybe after the workout or something, you'll start doing pull-ups or bench press or something.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here this morning. By the way, does your family get up to see you much when you get the chance to play? Do they, or do they wait when you get closer to them, sort of on the more eastern side of the province?
Yeah, usually when I go down to Erie or Niagara or Hampton or something, they'll come up. But they get up every couple weeks to Mississauga, so it's not bad. That's
pretty good. That actually is pretty good. Well, thanks for joining us on what has been so far a tremendous season. And I know that you guys deep down have aspirations of doing something. And quite honestly, the way this season has gone, you might be the team that people don't want to play. I think that's a pretty good place to be.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Thanks, Thomas. You take care. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you.